Thank you for being here today. It is day 9 of our self-care journey, and I'm so delighted that we're here on another day. I hope I'm streaming live everywhere, so I'm trying to get all my devices and gadgets together. Anyhow, yes. So today's challenge, each day we're doing one small task of enrichment that will better our overall lives, mind, body, spirit. So we're here today on day 9, and today we're talking about perfection versus progress. So focus on progress and not perfection. And we all know that it's better to focus on that. Good morning. Thank you all for joining. I'm so glad you're here. So we're talking about focusing on progress and not on perfection. And so if you have the free download, you'll see that on the challenge. Okay. So you can follow along with that. Okay, so this is the agenda that we're keeping every day so that we can do one small task for our overall enrichment, mind, body, and spirit. So today's task is to focus on progress. How do we do that? Oftentimes we're blindsided by perfectionism. We are crippled, we're stifled, we are held captive, and we are not even we just don't make any movement, no action whatsoever, because we are so stuck on perfectionism. And perfectionism is an illusion. Okay. So that really is an illusion. Honestly, it's like the dog catching his tail. You never get it. Good morning to you all. Good morning, Darren, Juanita, Monique. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining on YouTube and TikTok, Pedro and Christy and Susanna, all of you, thank you for being here. So we're talking about progress. Progress is more important, right, than trying to think about perfection. Perfection is an illusion. It will keep you crippled from inactivity. You won't be able to do anything because you're sitting there focusing on getting everything right, crossing every T, dotting every I. When I have it all together, when I save up enough money, when I have all the marketing together, and you won't do anything. You'll be sitting there 2-3 more years, still haven't written a book, still haven't launched the business, still haven't done anything because you're stifled by perfection. And we got to get that out of our minds, okay? So perfection is the pursuit of flawlessness, while progress is the gradual improvement towards the goal. So perfection can be unattainable. It's an unattainable goal that can lead to procrastination and fear of failure. So you'll be stuck not doing anything at all. And we don't want that. So progress is about making and taking consistent steps forward, right? No matter how small, and recognizing that mistakes are a natural part of that learning process. Okay. So we won't have it all together, but you can work on, we're all a work in progress, right? None of us have fully arrived and have every area perfected. Now, we can work on those small things. I have a standard of excellence, and we all should have a standard of excellence. Yes, you can tap the screen and send stars or gifts. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I am a content creator, and I promise to add value and to bring quality content to you. So making those small steps towards your goal is better than standing still, doing nothing, waiting for everything to be perfect. Now, excellence is a standard. So I don't say do anything less than excellent or do anything that is subpar or just cringy. But you do need to have quality. Bring quality to the table, yes, but don't let perfection stifle you. So there is a difference between perfection and excellence. Doing something well, everything should be done well. Yes, if you're offering a service or a product, you want to serve well. But if you're looking for things to be perfect, honey, your bubble will bust so quick, so soon. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Anissa. Thank you all for following along. We're so glad that you're here. Yes. And perfectionists set unrealistic goals and expectations that are constantly changing. Progress is about breaking down your goals into measurable steps, right? So that you can track the progress. So we'll talk about what ways we can measure the progress as well, because that's equally as important, because whatever you're tracking, if you're keeping track of something, that's when you will see progress. But if you're not tracking it, if you're not tracking like some of the things we're doing on this on this challenge, if you're not tracking that you're drinking the water, that you're taking the walk, that you're doing the exercise, that you're reading the books, that you're doing the things, if you're not tracking your progress, you won't be able to measure how far you've grown, right? And growth is an important factor in making progress. So even just your small steps, so even like on this challenge, even this free download that we have, it's doing one small task every day for our overall enrichment, mind, body, and spirit. So it doesn't have to be big, grandiose things. It could be the small things, right? And it's a mindset. So perfectionism can lead to fear and failure paralysis, right? It just keeps you gripped. But progress is about cultivating a growth mindset, right? That is embracing the possibilities of growth, embracing what could happen, what being hopeful, being expecting things that are being possible, right? So perfectionism can cause people to focus on what they failed to accomplish rather than what is working. And that was one of the things we looked at yesterday. What are the things I'm happy about? Because we can look at all the things that's negative in our lives, but when we focus on what we're happy about, what is working in our lives, then we can go ahead and see, okay, well, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Good morning, Mama. Thank you for being here. So you can focus on what is working. And you can go down that list, and that gratitude. And one of the things I didn't mention yesterday, gratitude brings about abundance, right? Because we release that spirit of gratitude for the things that are working well in our lives. But if you're stuck in perfectionism, then you're looking everything that's wrong, every flaw, every way I missed it. Oh, I didn't say that right. Oh, I didn't show up right. I didn't dress right. Well, you're just looking at everything wrong. And that really does stifle. And then people don't want to be around you acting like that. Good morning, Diesel. Thank you for being here. So perfectionism can lead to a focus on those flawless outcomes, which can prevent people from making any progress at all. So progress is about focusing on the process that will lead to success in the overall outcome. So why? Because perfectionism is frustrating and it's unattainable. Progress is hopeful. You know, you feel like, oh, I can do this because there's always a way. It's always going to be there. There's a way that you can make it happen. You can make the adjustments. You can make the improvements. But if you're expecting everything to be just right, then you're like a dog chasing your tail. Just give it up. It's not happening. You don't need to focus on it. And then people who don't focus on perfectionism and who are focusing on progress are healthier people. They're healthier and happier. I had a student in my class. Unfortunately, her parents focused on perfection, and they had just such a hard uh, relationship with her. She couldn't make a mistake. She couldn't make any errors. And it's really difficult to learn and thrive under that type of environment. So the standard she set for herself, she was highly intelligent. These were brilliant, brainy people. And the child, whenever she made a mistake, she could be reading her paper in front of the class and she stumbled over a word. Now, she probably was the smartest kid in the room, but if she stumbled over words, she beat herself up so bad. She turned beet red. She would just like pound her head. She would do all kinds of things like this. And I'm like, these parents need to let her off the hook. She is in middle school. She is not a college level student. Although she probably could academically pass some college entrance exams and things, they had such a perfection standard that she couldn't even mispronounce a word. She couldn't make a mistake. She beat herself up, and she was self-sabotaging outwardly, openly in front of everybody. And they're raising her in such a rigid environment that there's no room for failure. There's no room for mistakes. And that's a hard place to be in. So good morning, Ashley. Good to see you here. So, and I'm telling you, that is no way to, it's not a healthy environment, not for a child, not for an adult. And if you have a boss that way, ooh, it's hard working for a boss that wants everything perfect. You know, they don't have any room for grace or any room for errors. And in it, there is an error. They don't have any level of compassion. They want to beat the team up with negative words and just uh, condemning language, and that's no way to talk down to people. So anyway, we got to rid ourselves of perfection. So if you yourself are doing that, if you are being a perfectionist to yourself, you got to let yourself off the hook. If you are a perfectionist and you're being that way to your children, you've got to let them off the hook. Okay. Yes, and as I said, it's a very hard place. It sets you up for failure. Definitely, you're definitely going to fail, and a failure is a part of the process of getting better. How do you know what to tweak? How do you know what to revamp? Even as a business owner, how do you know what's working, what sales, what demographic? Unless you try and it fails and it doesn't work, then you go back and you tweak the vision and like, okay, this isn't working, this isn't going well, or at least the strategy to reach the vision. You want to tweak those things so that it can work and have a greater reach and impact, right? So failure is part of it. The only way we can reach success is to also fail, right? So rid ourselves of the mindset that everything has to be perfect. But what we can do is set clear goals, track our progress, make sure our goals are measurable and achievable, right? Make sure that we have maybe keep a calendar or a planner to record our goals, our tasks, our milestones, our deadlines, so we can check these tasks off and see where we've come. Because if we're focusing on reaching and making progress, then we don't have time to compare ourselves to others or to be work on perfection. Yes, Darren says she agreed. So it is important so we can celebrate our milestones. Good morning, Dara, lovely from Atlanta. So good to see you, my darling. Yes, we can celebrate our milestones, even our small wins. It doesn't have to be the big, grandiose picture. We don't have to have conquered the whole entire thing, but celebrate the small wins, the small things, the smaller tasks that we have accomplished. Some things we may not vocalize or share publicly to other people, but we know it's a win. Like, even if it's something internal, because remember, everything we're doing is mind, body, spirit. Even if we know that we did not lose our temper, that we did not fly off at the handle, that we did not set somebody straight when we could have, and the old us could have done that, and we could have told them a thing or two, and nobody knows that inward battle is going on the inside of us, but we can celebrate that small win. We can be like, thank you, God, I held it together. I put a guard over my mouth so that I didn't even fall into sin, that I didn't mess this thing up, and I didn't cause any strife or trouble in the workplace or wherever, or in a relationship, in a marriage, or a relationship with a child, whatever it is. Celebrate the small wins, okay? It's very important to celebrate the small wins, okay? Regularly assess your progress. So how do you know you're getting better if you're not measuring it? And the measuring tool is you, really. So am I better than I was yesterday? Am I better than I was last week or last year? How were my sales last June? How are my sales last October? You're measuring yourself against yourself, not comparing against the next business that's doing the exact same thing. You're measuring your own progress. So when you're focused on making progress, you're not focusing on what Susie Q is doing and what John Doe is doing. You're focusing on what you need to do, right? More grace. Yes, Veronica. Thank you for joining. More grace. Give yourself more grace. We measure ourselves by our own progress. Therefore, there's no comparison, right? Because nobody's doing what you're doing. You're the only one with the calling. You're the only one with this assignment. You're the only one running your race, staying in your lane, doing what you're called to do. Measure yourself against your own progress. So that's why we got to track our progress so that we know how far we've come. We know that we started off lifting 30 pounds on the bar, and now we're lifting 75 pounds on a bar, and now we're lifting 150 pounds on a bar. You keep track of your progress. What gets tracked and what is traced, you will see progress in. But if you're not tracking it, you don't know. You're just kind of willy-nilly and you're just doing whatever, right? But track it, celebrate your milestones, regularly assess your progress, use a rating system if you need to. Use a goal tracker. They even have apps for it, goal tracker apps like ClickUp. And that's an app where it can help you track your progress and stay on track to achieve your goals. So you click up kind of like a to-do list. You're clicking that you have made that next step in a progress. Okay, I haven't won the whole account, but I have made the phone call. I've sent the email. I've put the packet in the mail, and all the steps that lead to the big win or winning an account if you're working in business. All the steps that lead to celebrate the things that you have done and give yourself a pat on the back at the end of the week. Like, what is my progress for this week? What have I done? And then if you're tracking it, you can also assess, okay, that's not working. We got to change this. We got to do something different. And that helps. So thank you guys for sending the stars, tapping the screen, sending the hearts. I appreciate that. And not analyze and act on your data. So the reason why you're tracking it is so that you can make the adjustments. So use the information you've gathered to identify areas for improvement and make the necessary changes. So that's what it's about. So I have a couple of quotes here. And before I give the quotes, has anybody wrestled with perfectionism? Yes, you versus you, not the comparison. I love that. Oh, you made it to the gym. Yes, make that. Listen, I made it to the gym today. I want extra points of credit that I made it, that I actually got in my car. I got dressed, got in my car and drove and went to the gym. Yes, that is progress. Because if I haven't been in 2-3 months, that is progress. So yes, anybody struggle with perfectionism? Has anyone wrestled with the fact that perfectionism has kept you bound from inactivity, from taking no action whatsoever? I know I have. Oh, for years. You couldn't have caught me doing something unless I had it all together first. I needed to know how it was going to turn out. Did I have all things in place? Do I have all the materials? Do I have all the details? Who's going to be involved? What time is it going to be? I had to have everything together or I couldn't start anything. With some people, they can just start with raw materials. Like, okay, well, what do you have? All you got are these pieces of wood. Okay, I'm going to just start building. And then I'll add the next level when you bring more resources. I couldn't do that. But now I can shoot straight from the hip. I can work with what I got and get the ball rolling. So yes, I see people got 4 hands on here. Was a perfectionism? Was a perfectionist? So I have that so bad. Oh yes. So that, listen, if you are a perfectionist, then you are chasing an illusion. Okay, it will never be 100% perfect, and it's like a dog chasing his tail. You're not going to attain it. It's something unattainable. Thank you for joining. Thank you for that compliment. Thank you, Shawanda. Good morning to you. So here's a quote: progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. So first of all, the first level of progress starts in your mind. It starts in your mind. So once your mind is out, you can get out, right? So whatever your situation you're facing, your mind comes out first, and then the actions and everything else follows. Once you change your heart in a situation, then everything else changes around you. So I can't reiterate that enough throughout this entire challenge. Everything that you want to change and get better in your life starts with you. Everything, every single thing. Nothing changes until you change. Nothing changes until you change. So here's another quote: coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is a success. So progress begins with coming together, having the mindset, changing it, coming together, working together to reach success. It doesn't happen with perfection. It just doesn't. We haven't seen it anywhere. Nowhere can you find it but God. But God, when He made it, it was good. It settles it. It's final, right? Yes, ma'am. It starts with you. Every form of change you want to see in your life. If you want to see your finances change, if you want to see your relationships change, you want to see your workplace change, you want to see whatever your student life change, your studies change, whatever you have your hand connected to. If you want to see change in that area, it always starts with you. So I want to encourage you to take this time to reflect now, okay? Reflect on what we have been doing, because this is about mind, body, spirit, leaving no stone unturned. We want to get better in every single aspect of our lives, right? So that's why it's important to do one small task every day. If you haven't gotten a free download and you're interested in getting that, if you're on another platform like YouTube or TikTok and you want that information, just DM me and I will get it out to you. Also, there is a contest going on. We have a private self-care Facebook group that you can be part of. And in that group, that's where we have all the details of that contest. And also you can grab the book for the deeper challenge, Mind, Body, and Spirit. Some of you have ordered already. And you can get it in PDF, ebook, Kindle form, and you can print it off. And that's what I did with this book. And I just spiral bound it. And you can also get the t-shirt, Self-Care is Queen Behavior, because no queen is running around raggedy, depleted, and we're overdrawn, right? Because we got to take care of ourselves. So if you treat yourself like a queen that you are, the royal priesthood that you are, a chosen generation, then you're not going to be run down. And so that's what it's about, getting ourselves back together, healthy, better, wiser, right? Ending this year strong. And the way that we can do that is pouring back into our vessel, right? So we're not pouring from an empty cup. And all the capacities that we serve in, we don't want to, we don't want to be depleted. So I invite you to invite a friend, to tag someone along. They can jump in at any time. So it doesn't matter that we are on day 9. We still got all the other days. They can catch the replays. It's still beneficial. What I promise to provide is quality content and to add value to your life. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here to encourage you. I am your cheerleader, cheering you on this self-care challenge, okay? Why? Because we want to form a healthy habit, to make it a lifestyle to live by, right? So that we can show up as our best selves. We do so much for ourselves and others that we have to also pour back into ourselves. So that's what this is about. So who made their list yesterday? Some people made their list of the things that they're happy about right now. Who made their list? Let me see you. I saw some people post in the chat yesterday that they made their list. Let's see. Raggedy is your favorite. Yes. Okay, Miss Juanita said, progress is impossible without change. Yes, nothing changes until you change. So good. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Your life is not going to be decluttered. You're not going to save more money. You're not going to do better in school. You're not going to do anything until you change yourself. And it is a mindset. Yes. Ashley says she did her list. Yes, I saw Juanita's list yesterday. Ashley's list. And I got some lists on my text message on my cell phone. Yes, well, thank you. I love to be the cheerleader because that's part of what I do, is leading women to a better life, to tapping into their hidden potential so that they can be all that God has called them to be. And so I'm a motivator like that. I'm a teacher. And yes, I am a cheerleader. So I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for tracking along with this challenge. And I'll meet you here tomorrow. In tomorrow's challenge, for day 10 is stretch for 10 minutes. And we'll talk about the benefits of stretching. Just know, a body in motion stays in motion. If you're doing nothing, sitting like a bump on a log, everything begins to decline. And we don't want that. So we want to show up as our best selves in every single way, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of the ways. Okay. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow, 7:30, or catch the replay. Thank you, replay viewers, for being here and commenting and sharing and inviting. God bless you all. Bye-bye.